Okay, well, good evening, everybody. This is the convening of the Cottonwood Mayor and City Council of the City of Cottonwood for presentation of proclamations, awards, and introduction of new city employees to be held on August 16th, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. And we have a long list of employees to introduce this evening. And this is the part of the meeting where I wish I'd gone around and asked how to pronounce some last names. So I'm going to butcher your last names. Unfortunately, please be patient with me. We're going to call up Ryan Bigelow first to introduce a library specialist, audiovisual.
Mr. Mayor, Council, Ryan Bigelow, Library Director. You got the last name right. Thank you. First, we'll start with our library specialist, audiovisual, Mr. John STABE. John, you might recognize from Yavapai Broadcasting. He spent some time there. He's also a Mingus Union High School grad. We brought John on because he brings a lot of the technical skills that we're looking for as far as video production and audio production. Not something you'd maybe traditionally think of when you think of a library, but you know, we have those technical needs in our community, and now we're able to meet them. You might have noticed some of our PSAs coming out, the recordings. That's all done in-house. He's helped produce a few videos, and YouTube's becoming a big thing, so he's going to help us there as well. And he's got the privilege, I think, of working directly with some of our teens to teach them how to create their own content. So he was almost a little bit late today because the teen pulled him over and said, "Hey, can you teach me how to do a YouTube video?" And he did, and he taught him right there on the spot. So we got some bonus skills with John. He's a pretty handy guy as well. He knows how to use tools really well, so David Hausman and his crew don't have to come over nearly as much. We didn't know that, so that's a big bonus there. But most importantly, John is really kind and really patient with our community. He gets the honor and privilege of often working with those who don't have the technical skills. It's not always creating YouTube videos. Sometimes it's turning on the on button, or maybe Mr. Corbin needs some help with some things, and he could have gotten that too. I saw you called IT over right before the meeting. But anything's possible with John, and most importantly, he's able to do it with patience and kindness. So without further ado, Mr. John STABE.
Welcome.
Welcome. Different being on this side of things. You know, I used to film you guys quite a bit, but Mr. Mayor, City Council. It's been great. I've been there 3 months. I've been able to help so many of citizens coming in and out of the Cottonwood Library, as well as up in the teen zone, stuff like that. You know, and the team's great. It's been there 3 months, and like second day in, it kind of felt more or less like long lost friends. Just the team dynamic was really, really good, and it's good just to be there and all that. So.
Awesome, great. So, lucky to have you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's been my pleasure for the past 3 months. So.
Good. It only gets better from here.
Yep.
All right. And stick around. We're going to do a photo at the end of all this. So I believe Sarah Hutchinson is next. Is that right?
So, Mr. Mayor and Council, next is Sierra Hutchinson, our library specialist from the reference desk. Sierra was a part-time employee with us, so we got to see her at work all the time, which was nice. She's really good with the public, and that's really why we hired her. But and we're thrilled she decided to actually apply for this full-time position, because we knew she was something special. She's a perfect blend of local. Sierra also graduated from Mingus Union High School. She even volunteered at the library as a teenager, so she has oftentimes more experience than I do, so have to refer back to her. She also, worked there part-time for the summer reading program as a high school student. She's also got the international flair to her. She spent some time in the Peace Corps. She also has a master's degree in international development, nonprofit management, and capacity building, so her credentials kind of speak for themselves and are far beyond those of my own. But her superpower really is staying calm and working with patrons who are not having their best days. She's able to turn that around pretty quickly and allow for them to have their needs met, whatever those needs might be. So we're really thrilled to have Sierra at the reference desk. It's a perfect position for her. So Sierra Hutchinson, Library Specialist.
Welcome.
Mr. Mayor, Council, thank you very much for having me here today. It's actually my first time in Chambers. I grew up the child of a school teacher and a journalist, so they were in Chambers all the time. And so it's nice for me to meet you all here. Thank you for having me. And it's incredibly exciting to actually work for the library full-time and to come back to Cottonwood and see where it is right now. Because I did grow up here, and over the years, this has really become a destination. It's a wonderful place to be. People who live here and grew up here feel proud of it and want to come home. So thank you very much for what you're doing for our city, and it's exciting for me to be part of that. Thank you.
Awesome. Welcome back home. Hey, I'm just curious, where'd you serve in Peace Corps?
Benin.
Where?
Benin. It's in
okay.
West Africa.
Okay.
And I was so hooked that I also went to Comoros,
Okay.
kind of in the heart of the pandemic. And so there and here, I work a little bit in education. That was my interest.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks for asking.
All right, and stick around. Like I said, we're going to do a photo at the end, okay? Yes. We have Scott Ellis. You're going to introduce a couple new employees as well.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. Scott Ellis, Community Development Director. Ryan's going to make me look bad with details, so I apologize. First person I would like to introduce is Christina Hayden. She comes to us from Phoenix. She lived down there her whole life, graduated from ASU this past May with a bachelor's in environmental design. So she's our new planner. Jim Paget, who recently retired. She's got 2 kids, 2 dogs, enjoys hiking, camping, staying home with puzzles, TV, and games. We've already thrown her to the wolves. She's jumped in, taken on projects. You will see her here over the next couple months with some of those. She's just doing a great job. She asks all the right questions. She doesn't hesitate. Provides answers to customers. She's just really pleasant to have on board. We're excited for the future with her here and what we can accomplish.
Great. Well, let's bring her up. Good evening.
Good evening. I think I've told Scott already, is I am so grateful for the opportunity that has been given to me. In my junior year of college, I took an Intro to Urban Planning course, and I switched tracks from architectural design to planning, and because I wanted to start my career in planning, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity here. And this is a long-term plan of mine. I want to see how I can help this city grow.
Great.
I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Well, welcome. We're going to keep you awfully busy. We've got some projects coming. So we might not move at the frenzied pace of Phoenix from where you came, but we move pretty quick up here, so we're going to need you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next up is Clover PINION. She's our new full-time assistant planner. That position came open as a full-time because our part-time assistant planner was reclassified. She has lived in the Verde Valley off and on her entire life. Recently came to us from Spectrum, where she worked in administration and HR for the past 6.5 years. Has 4 kids, enjoys kayaking the Verde River, spending time with her family, cooking, and attending music concerts. Just like with Tina, we've kind of thrown her right in. She's doing a great job taking over the code review board meetings, answering the phones, helping customers at the front counter. She's doing really, really well. So we're excited to have her on board, add to our staff, and hopefully continue to bring projects this way.
Awesome. Welcome.
Hello, thank you. Well, thanks for having me tonight, and I don't really have, just thank you, and I'm excited to be working for the city. I just see all the amazing things that have been happening and are going to continue to happen, so it's nice to be a part of that. And Scott's team, they've been really welcoming. It's a great team and a lot of camaraderie, and we all work really well together so far. I think I'm on my 5th week. So, but it's been great so far, and just thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. We're glad to have you. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Kirsten Lennon, you're up. Is that right?
It's my turn.
Okay. Just one this evening for you, huh?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Kirsten Lennon, Financial Services Director. Mine's really easy because I get to introduce you to somebody you already know. As you know, in the budget year cycle this year, you guys gave me an accounting manager position, And we just happened to have the perfect candidate already in our office who was our contracts and purchasing manager or administrator for 8 years. He also has worked 5 years at the Sedona School District doing contracts and purchasing after he completed his bachelor's degree in accounting at NAU. He is a native of Cottonwood, grew up here, has been here forever, and came back and is providing great service to Cottonwood by being in our department. And we're really happy to have him, and we're looking forward to having the time to train him once we get a new person in the contracts and purchasing position in October.
All right. You did look familiar.
I tried to disguise myself. Mayor, Council, it's just a blast working here. I grew up here. I love working and seeing the rewards of our hard work in the city that I grew up in, and we've got our family here, so looking forward to another long time here. I don't plan on going anywhere. But in all seriousness, it is rewarding for me.
Yeah.
Sorry about that one. Yeah. And it's been great, so thank you.
Great. Well, we appreciate you doing 2 jobs at once. Or 4 or 5, yeah. All right, Mr. Teal, you're last here this evening with 2 employees introduced, and I'm going to let you pronounce both of those names.
Got it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. My name is Jack Teal, your Parks and Recreation Director here with the city. So a couple of years ago, the city really put an emphasis on what we considered our return on investment program, working with the high school and the college to make sure we weren't just recruiting, but identifying local community members that would be able to go out, do their thing, and then come back to Cottonwood to start their careers. And I'm excited tonight to introduce 2 of those, 2 of our newest members to the Cottonwood Recreation team. So I'll start with LANDON TREZISE. So I taught LANDON swim lessons when he was like this tall, and his entire family. So he's grown up in Cottonwood. He's come through our Parks and Recreation facilities and programs. He was a captain on the swim team going through and graduated here locally with Mingus Union High School. He wants to continue to grow in the aquatics industry, so we're hoping to give him those opportunities through Parks and Recreation, but he'd like to go off and do psychology when he's all said and done. So really would like to give you an opportunity to chat with LANDON and learn a little bit about himself, but want to congratulate him to our team. He's a tremendous asset, a great swimmer, and really good for the aquatics department.
Great, welcome.
Thank you. Started working for the pool when I was 15, and I'm just excited to be able to continue to grow in the position of aquatics, and yeah, that's about it.
Awesome, great.
The next one we got is Cameron Nair. Nair? Yeah, Cameron Nair. I like to say Nair too, Mr. Mayor, so he had to correct me. It says Nair, like the old skin remover, or the hair remover. Yeah. So Cameron, funny story about Cameron is I've legitimately been in the Parks and Recreation Department longer than he's been alive. So he's very young on our team, but he just moved into the role as a lifeguard over at the Cottonwood Recreation Center. We're really excited about him. He's always had a passion for aquatics. He's been around his entire life. Currently, he doesn't have plans to leave, which we love. That means we get to keep him for a couple more years at least. But he's been in that role now for a couple years as a part-time lifeguard and just got brought on as the full-time position. We couldn't be more thrilled to have him. He's really good with his hands. He understands the overall mission of the department, and he's a big reason on why we're going to be successful back in our pool.
Great. Welcome, Cameron.
Hi, I'm Cameron Nair. I'm 17 years old. Currently, I'm attending Yavapai College to get my associates in business. And I've been working on pool since I was like 11, 12 years old, just doing pool maintenance because my dad owns the pool business. So know a little bit about it.
Great. Well, thanks for stepping up to the full-time job. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get all these employees up and welcome them to the city of Cottonwood and take a nice photo. If you have any family with you, you're welcome to bring them up with you as well.
okay to smile. Thank you.
I got started and they're like, hey, by the way,
Yeah, that's fine. Usually he comes back here and announces a break, but maybe he's not doing that.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and convene, or and end this meeting, excuse me. And we'll begin our regular meeting in about 15 minutes, so stick around.